What is going on, everybody? This is Squid Grow Joe here, along with DeFi Sean, another amazing Phoenix Friday. I don't know many cryptos out there that's doing Phoenix Friday live AMAs, live updates throughout the week. I don't think there's almost any doing it, to be honest with you. And yet here we are, another Phoenix Friday, and we're just right here with everybody. We're not going anywhere. We're still here to build, and we are looking to build bigger and better every single time. We got a lot of updates for you guys today. We want you guys to definitely get your questions ready. Once we say, actually, guys, about your questions, make sure to ask them. Anyone out there, ask your questions. If you have anything you want to talk about or discuss anything, please let us know. We'll definitely talk about it here on the Phoenix Friday AMA. So right at the gate, we're gonna have Sean start off. Sean, want to start off right at the gate, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, everyone? So I'm going to kind of start off giving some updates and kind of just going over the general way of, I guess, we're going to be handling our utility launches coming up. First off, I did want to note we do have our buy contest going on, and that's going to be going on until Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern. We have two running simultaneously. We have a biggest buy, which is going to net you one BNB if you're the winner. And then we're also going to do two random buy winners, which is going to get you 0.25 BNB. We're also on BSC trending, and we'll probably have that, I think, for roughly another 20-ish hours. So really good with that. Now, moving on to the utility part. Now, we kind of got a little bit more structured. So obviously when we launched, we had a set of utilities coming up. We got a big, really fast. We brought in different devs like Mark, and we kind of started adding more and more stuff to it. So we kind of wanted to regroup and kind of go over everything and kind of semi-ish order that they're going to be listed in. Because again, anyone that knows anything about behind the scenes, it can be sometimes hard to stay in exact order. Some things finish faster than you think. Some things take longer, so on and so forth. Now, with our Uniswap launch, we're going to be getting that bridge to ETH built. We're going to be bridging over just the amount of tokens we need. So just the tokens for the launch will be bridged over and it'll be closed. There's going to be no extra tokens bridged over. There's going to be no team members bridging tokens over. It's completely shut off. Obviously, you'll be able to verify that on the blockchain. So we're going to be bridging that over. That'll be built. Also on the to-do list is ETH getting added to Infinity Swap. So obviously on Infinity Swap, we have BSC. Since we're bridging over to ETH, we want to get ETH added as well. Then we have our NFT marketplace. That's pretty much coming next, which again, we keep saying that, but that really is coming next. With that's going to come our Operation Phoenix NFTs. Then also, Mike is very important to Mike, I guess you can say, and a lot of people here. We're going to start talking blockchain after the ETH launch. So we're going to start talking and giving more details of exactly what we're going to be doing with the blockchain, maybe give a rough time frame, things like that. The wallet, that's going to be the very last thing that comes. We want everything to be built so that when we integrate everything into the wallet, it's all going to be there to be integrated and we don't have to like backtrack or anything like that. We're also developing BuyBot. We're also developing a BuyBot for the DEX in the Discord. So Telegram and Discord is going to have its own BuyBot. We're going to put a trending system like BSC trending so that tokens on the DEX can be trending and different things like that. Again, just an added revenue source. So that's kind of the list of the utilities that they're going to be coming up in pretty much a similar order to what I just said. But yeah, Joe, if you have anything to comment on that, I do want to talk about something else. But yeah, if you want to comment on any of those.
Yeah, I just want to say that anyone thinking that we're branching off on ETH or starting something new on ETH is still part of everything. It's all integrated. So for those that are on BSC, you're not getting boned by people, us having ETH with us. In fact, even better, because by being on BSC, if you still hold your tokens, which good on you, the ETH will actually help you out. And the price we predict, we cannot tell you for sure, no guarantees, but by ETH rolling out, it would help the BSC price point. And this is something we feel as a team that everyone keeps us missing. They keep going, oh, ETH's going to go to the moon and we're going to be left in the dust on BSC. You couldn't be further from the truth. It's actually going to be way different. And if you're on BSC, you will benefit. You are not going to get left in the dust. If ETH rises, you get taken care of as well. So if you're on BSC and you don't care about ETH, and I mean, it's up to you. Some people do, some people don't. I love my BSC, to be honest with you. But if you see ETH rise, just know you're not going to get left behind. We had full intentions by rolling out ETH, by doing this, to help our friends over on BSC. One hand washes the other. And by ETH doing good, BSC will also do good as well. And I just want to really throw that out there because a lot of people have a massive misconception that ETH's going to flop the handles and everyone BSC spawn. Thanks, by the way, Operation Phoenix. No, 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 no. One hand washes the other. Trust me when I say this. If ETH does good, which you're expecting it to do good, BSC gets taken care of just as much. Keep that in mind.
Yep. Now a utility, Joe. I don't even think I told you that we're ready for this. So the next big utility that we're coming up, it's literally done. There's just a final finishing touches we have to put on is our token builder. So that's going to be live on our DEX. Now, what that's going to allow you to do is you have to have zero contract knowledge. You hop onto our DEX and you can actually build your own contract. So we're going to have a zero tax token contract that you can build. We're going to have a tax token, and we're also going to have a rewards token. Now, when you do that, I believe this is going to be the price structure. And remember, this is fluid. It could change, especially as we get bigger and different things like that. Obviously, we would probably go up. So the zero tax token is going to be 0.2 BNB. The tax token is going to be 0.3 BNB, and the rewards token is going to be 0.4 BNB to go ahead and create those contracts. So again, just yet another revenue source that we have going on that's going to be coming back to Operation Phoenix. I mean, the amount of tokens that we bought back and also burned and different things like that. Obviously, a lot of them do go to staking. Not all of them get burnt, but we have to be approaching at least $100,000 in buybacks easily, especially when you take into account all the buybacks we did with the tax money when we first launched. So that's the token builder. Joe, you got anything to say about that before I say the next thing?
Yeah, absolutely. With the green market, everyone and their mother is going to be doing two things: buying and how do I do this myself. Everyone wants to do it themselves, and everyone wants something that's simple and easy. And whatever adds simplicity and ease is the path everyone goes to. This is why MetaMask is as dominant. Even though I like Trust Wallet, originally I'm a big MetaMask fan now, and everyone is now because MetaMask is easier to use. Well, with a token builder, the more easy and simplistic we can have it, we'll have it. It's going to be easier, and people are going to want to get involved. They're going to want to use us launch from their own token. And what's even better of us launching, having a token being built for them, is of course a way for us to have them join our launchpad. Once again, it's one hand washing the other. This is what we're doing constantly. We're finding ways to innovate and to make it easier for people to create tokens, to launch tokens, and to sustain their own ecosystem within our ecosystem as well.
Yep, exactly. So next up on the list is Russian Roulette and the Burn Lotto. So we're going to go ahead and axe Russian Roulette for the standalone product, I guess you can say. Same thing for the Burn Lotto. If there is one live, we're going to go ahead and cap that one off, make it pick the winner, and go ahead and close that because, again, everyone knows that we have our PvP partnership with the casino. So those type of games are actually going to be rolled into our white label of that casino. So Operation Phoenix will have its very own casino. I think it was Daddy Bybee was asking about Operation Phoenix being able to be used. Well, I can say that is going to end up coming. Just got to give them a second. They haven't even got the BNB portion launched, which I know that's coming up right now. It's Matic. BNB is coming, but there will be a point in time, hopefully in the near future, that we will be able to use Operation Phoenix, especially once we get our white label going. I think I'm looking at it right now. So we're just shy of $200 that Operation Phoenix has made from the PvP launch, and there's no doubt that when they start paying out the 10% of revenue that that everyone gets per week, no doubt that we're going to win it. I mean, Matt alone, I think, is at like 272,000 Matic that's been gambled. I want to say Paul. I think he's up there, like Son of the Sea Hound. I think he was at like 75,000. I think I'm approaching like 10,000. Like everyone's up there. So I have no doubt that Operation Phoenix is going to be the winner of that. Not sure exactly what those fees are, but I know last week, Joe, you were playing a lot of PvP. I've been playing it throughout the week. And yeah, so super excited. Kind of once we get that white label, it'll be even just a bigger, again, revenue source for Operation Phoenix, which just keeps tying all this together with yeah, there's not a project I think in recent memory that's doing the amount of revenue that's actually going back into the project. Because you always hear projects say like, oh, revenue's coming back, and you never actually see it. Again, we always show you, we always pin it, all that good stuff every time we make any big buys, big burns, or anything like that. So yeah, so that's what's going on with the Russian Roulette and the Burn Lotto.
Yeah, one thing about crypto, and this is never going to change, is we're all, in a way, gamblers. So to find a direct way to gamble is something really fun. And, you know, we haven't forgotten about you guys as far as those holding Operation Phoenix wants to gamble that, or those holding B&B wants to gamble that. It's all a process, but in time will be available and you'll be able to do this. So unfortunately, you have to wait for now, but when it is available, it's gonna be fun. Number one. Number two, realize anyone gambling right now, and hopefully you guys win. I mean, win or lose, it's doesn't really matter, but we want you guys to win, so you get more money. But you know, either way, it does help our Operation Phoenix out. And like Sean said, it's only going to boost us. More ways for us to pump this token, more ways for us to grow. I know people are upset because the chart looks a little bit down right now, but you have to understand we're in a red market. Bitcoin's down, everything's down at the moment. Doesn't mean it's gonna be down forever. We just had a halving. In fact, it's gonna be the opposite. It's almost guaranteed to be the opposite. And for those that are here day one, for those that are here in the early days, as today are, and many days are, you have to realize that this is just the beginning of everything. And as time goes on, more and more people will get involved, more people will come in, and it's going to get a lot crazy. It's going to get a lot more hectic. And the only thing we got to do is, and as a team, what we're looking to do is just brace for that impact.
Yep, exactly. Also wanted to note that since PvP isn't the actual house, we actually created an Operation Phoenix house with about 550 Matic. I think we're up to about 800 or 900 in Matic already. So we're just going to kind of let that keep building. So we have the fee coming if you play on the Operation Phoenix site on PvP. We're no doubt going to get some of those 10% wins for the weekly biggest winners. We also have a stake in the house so that we're getting money from back from that. So again, it's going to be a pretty big money maker as PvP gets going. And remember, that's $200, and they're basically still in beta with only a handful of projects still playing, or a handful of projects actually playing it, I should say. All right. So now the big part, the big discussion is the Uniswap listing. So I guess there's a lot of confusion going on. I think when a lot of people first heard the announcement, they thought that we were ditching BSC, that it was a new token. It's not. So I guess the best way to put it, it's not a relaunch at all. It's not a migration. It's no different than getting listed on 2bit or on Bitmart. It's the same thing. And yes, some people can't get over the lower price points, but there's a reason why we're going back to that starting market cap on BSC. So when we launched on 2bit and Bitmart, we launched at about a 50% less price than we were on BSC, because you do that to take into account the price impact. So when we launch, we expect that price to fly up immediately. So we don't want anyone taking advantage of huge price differences. So that's kind of why you launch at a lower price. So ETH is going to be a little bit more than 50%. It's going to be a little bit more drastic. Right now, it's about 25x or less, but it's because of that price impact. Yes, there will be a handful of people that get a pretty good deal, but that price, I have no doubt, again, can't promise this, but I'm confident we're going to fly past that 25x within a matter of minutes. So that's a big reason why we're doing it that way. Also, very important to note, people say, so why don't you list it at the same start market cap? The reason why is because I guess you can say the LPs would be too unbalanced. So let's say that we took $5,000 from ETH or from BSC and went over the ETH, and we start at the same market cap, which we very much could do. You just have to pair 5,000 with the appropriate amount of tokens, and you'll get your 2.5 million starting market cap. But if we did that, the LPs would be so far out of whack, it just wouldn't work. So if someone's holding $500,000 or 500,000 tokens, on BSC worth 30,000, and they bridge over to ETH, well, they have what, 6-7 times the amount of LP than what's actually on ETH. So the only way to correct that is to do a pre-sale, which obviously we're not going to do, because then we're giving away tons of tokens at a discount if we do that. Or we launch at the lower price point and we let the ETH side build up naturally on its own to match the BSC side. So that's kind of the thought process on why we're starting at a lower market cap, as opposed to starting at the same market cap. We just straight up don't have the funds to be able to do that.
Another thing too, by starting out the way we are with ETH, people have to realize that we're doing it, and it's almost a race. And if there's a race, you're gonna have contenders. You're gonna have people getting ready. And another thing that's really important is with the ETH, we want to launch it with, we want people to be at the starting line, ready to jump in. And if we launch it at an equal ratio, there's going to be less people at the starting line because there's less opportunity. People always want opportunity in DeFi and crypto, and that's what we want to bring to everybody. So this is something that we feel is going to bring a lot more holders in, a lot more holders in. And we feel like obviously this is going to definitely pump the ETH side. Now, once again, like we said earlier, doesn't mean we're gonna forget the BSC side. They're brother and sister, and they're gonna equal out. Okay, they will just naturally equal out. And by not and by doing it this way and not making it equal, we also once again to get more people to join in. Had we made it equal, they would have created a really weird system in which, like Sean explained earlier, a weird imbalance that would have to fight to continually maintain balance. At least with this way, especially with the bridge, with our bridge as well, balance will also ultimately be maintained no matter what. So if E's crazy high and BSC's low, things like the bridge will start equaling everything out nice and evenly. And I think you're going to see that as time goes on as well. So once again, if you're on BSC, and you don't want to buy ETH and get involved, no big deal. Just sit back because you're still in a great position, like a really good position, actually, just by holding. That's simple. If you want to, of course, but once again, value's there by holding.
Yep, exactly. So Bitmart and 2bit, I guess you can say, wasn't as big of a deal. So we did start off 50% lower and they evened out pretty quickly and they kind of stayed there. But we're dealing with a different beast with ETH. It's going to have a lot more volume with this launch than we did on Bitmart or we did on 2bit. So the price action is going to be a lot crazier. So the goal is that the BSC holders benefit, but also the ETH holders benefit. So opening up the bridge at the right time is going to be actually the key to what we're doing. So let's say ETH shoots up to $70 million market cap. Well, we can't really open up the BSC side on that point because at that point, everyone's going to be bridging over and selling on ETH, and all the people that bought at 50 million is actually going to be getting dumped on because the BSC side would, I guess, technically be the pre-salers. So that's something we can't do. So keep this in mind. So let's say we do $10 million in volume. That's going to be anywhere from $400,000 to $1 million in marketing money, which is very, very possible. And I mean, if we get to market caps, like I just said, that's going to probably be 7 figures worth of marketing money, which we'll be able to do at that point. We can even potentially do a 7-figure buy on the BSC side to get it up. So no matter what, whether we let the ETH side play out the volatility and kind of get it equal with BSC, or we raise the BSC with doing buybacks and things like that, we're going to get it where it needs to be. So when that bridge opens, everyone's kind of on an equal footing, but no doubt this ETH launch will benefit the BSC side. Also, I can't give financial advice, but selling on the BSC side to chase the ETH side is a bad idea, in my opinion, because you're dealing with the same tokens. So you might sell 100,000 tokens on the BSC side to chase that ETH side. And next thing you know, you're getting into a launch where there's $700,000 in volume within minutes. Next thing you know, your 100,000 is on the BSC side, the 100,000 tokens. Now you only got 10,000 on the ETH side. So chasing it with the money from BSC would probably be a bad move because it's going to be really hard to get in at launch. No doubt there's always going to be bots, but there's going to be, I know, tons of people lining up. We have a really big marketing strategy coming up. Joe and myself are probably going to start on the first, kind of like people that were around in the beginning when I started Codename Moon, and I just started going every single day for like 3 straight weeks, promoting. Then the final 5 days before launch, that's when all of our big time partners will hop in. We'll do the big time AMAs and get everyone hyped and ready to go for launch to make this thing absolutely explode. Because one of the things for the project is raising marketing money and funds, because again, everything ties together. BSC is ETH, ETH is BSC, BSC is Bitmart, Bitmart is ETH. It all ties together. Yes, it's different LPs, but it's all the same token. So all those funds kind of go into one big pile, and we're going to use those funds to raise, again, every single thing is going to raise with this ETH launch. So that's the plan. Hopefully the people that are still here with everything we just said, and especially on the explanation that on why it's important that we can't start with the same market cap. Hopefully kind of everyone understands that now, that we just can't launch with a $2.5 million market cap with $5,000 in LP on ETH. It just won't work. We can't do that. So we're going to have to start a little bit lower. Now, keep in mind, some people will get a good deal, but at the end of the day, your bag is going to benefit from it because you're on the BSC side. You're already in it. You're not going to have to fight people to get in. Now, I mean, me personally, I probably will buy at the ETH launch, but I'm not going to be waiting to take my tokens over to ETH or anything like that, or selling my tokens to get it. Just, I think, would be a bad move because we all know how hype launches go, especially if there's tons of volume. It's going to be really hard to get in.
And one more thing, I just want to say real quickly, It's gonna be let's start the timer today, right now. How long would it be before this next person says, "Oh, we're getting screwed on the BSC because they're launching on ETH"? Like, just start the timer. I just want to know how long it's gonna take because it's always somewhere online, whether it's a Telegram, Reddit. Someone like freaks out, and everyone's like, "What do you mean?" And I don't know why they listen to that guy because he literally acts like. But like, just know that if ETH does really well, you on BSC is not gonna forgotten. In fact, the opposite. We're gonna do everything we can to rise our BSC as well as our ETH. And BSC, like Sean said, it's not going anywhere besides up. We feel like, once again, not financial advice, because we're looking out for you as well. And once again, I want to throw us out there. This is not the end of the story. We just do an ETH launch, level everything out, and say we did it, guys. No. The team is already talking about the next things like the blockchain. And this is something that I think a lot of people need to be focused on because this is part of our goals, number one. Number two, we also have our decks and projects that we're going to have launched via our decks. That wasn't a one and done. We didn't create this entire decks for one project. We created something that every project can be a part of. And with the token launcher, you can literally do everything through us. Launch a token, throw on our decks for a pre-sale. Like, there's a lot of cool things you can do via us. And with the green market approaching, projects are going to want to do this easy. They want to do this nicely, and they don't want to be stressed out by doing this. Now, there's a way to launch token right now currently, and I've seen how their launch is a pain. By doing our token launcher, not only can you launch your token, but then you could have your token as once again, want to go through us, but on our decks. Like, there's always opportunity, and it's always through us. And the minute people realize they can do that easily, they're going to continually do that. Not every one of them is going to be ups and downs. When these tokens launch, it's like pink sale. When a token launch, sometimes they get rugged immediately. When a token launch, they have problems. Sometimes when token launches, they go to the moon. It all depends on the token itself, not on us as a team. We are just a starting point for them. But by them using us, it also helps our project out as well.
Yeah, exactly. Just kind of, again, reiterate this because I like phrasing it like this. BSC is our home. This is where our native token lives. This is where we're building. All the tokens that go over to Bitmart, that go to 2bit, that's our BSC supply. The tokens going over to ETH, that is from our BSC supply. So everything lives on BSC. We're not going anywhere from BSC. If you're holding BSC right now, the token on Binance, you're good. You don't have to ever buy on ETH or ever buy on any other chain or any other centralized exchange. Now, with that said, the funds that we get from this ETH launch, good chance we are going to add another centralized exchange coming up. I think a lot of people can probably guess which centralized exchange that's going to be. And also, guys, if this ETH launch goes well, who knows? We may do a community vote. Maybe we decide to go do base next or something like that, because the more LPs we can create, the better. Someone was in chat, I think 2 days ago, kind of, I guess, confused, saying how, it's different LPs, it's different tokens. It's not. So I use the analogy of Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's on crypto.com. It's on Binance. If you notice, a lot of times they'll have slightly different prices. It's because there's different LPs, but it is in fact the same token. So if you look, we might have a slight difference on Bitmart. We might have a slight price difference on Binance. So our 4 or 5 LPs, you actually might have slight price differences because it's different LPs, but it's all the same token, which is important to note, which again is, I think, where a lot of the confusion lies. Now, I think that's it for all the updates. Yeah, if everyone wants to start asking questions and things like that, I think that's it for the updates on my side, Joe, if you don't have anything.
I want to talk about one thing real quickly before we start doing questions. Guys, get your questions ready, by the way, about power to the people, because there's been a little bit of an issue with power to the people recently with their staking contract. I just want everyone to understand that, we are the start for these tokens like power to people and many others, once again. And we are basically the genesis when it comes to power to people with their pre-sale. We did a great pre-sale. It was a hard cap at 50-50 BNB. We hit the hard cap. And our story with power to people basically ended. But we're not just throwing power to people out to the wolves. We our people, we're still talking with their people. And that's something that I think people need to understand. Like, we were still talking to them and seeing if they need help with anything. One of the things that we offered to help them out with was their staking contract. Now, unfortunately, they felt like they had the right person for a staking contract, so they didn't need our help, and they wound up having this issue. And here's where they are right now. With that said, me and Sean, the team, we talked about this, and Power to People is still doing really good. From the initial launch, they're still doing really good. The team is still focusing on doing more in the DeFi space. They're not just packing their bags and going, all right, take whatever you can and run. No. They're still here and they're still working. And yes, there was an issue with the staking contract. There was an exploit, and we did offer to help them with our guy to do their staking contract. But once again, they thought they had the right guy. We're not selling them out to the woods at all. We understand that these things do happen. Nothing's ever done perfectly. There's always a chance, no matter how many audits or how many times you look something over, there's always a chance something can get screwed up. Okay, this isn't a crypto ran by one person. Power to People, many people are involved in doing this, and if one person makes a mistake, one person slips up, it shouldn't be impacting the entire crypto. It shouldn't be impacting us, being the fact that we were just the genesis of their launch point. We just want them to do good, and we want every crypto to do good in DeFi. And there are a lot of people, not in our community, but other communities, that were talking smack about Power to People and Operation Phoenix. Listen, we're still going to say it. We want all cryptos to do good. We want to get the good cryptos with teams of good people that want to grow in DeFi. That's what we want. And Power to People, we feel, is definitely still one of them. Sean?
Yep, I do genuinely believe that the devs had nothing to do with it, especially if you were behind the scenes if like we were, you would see that. Now it wasn't a rug pull or anything. I think it was about a 4.5 thousand exploit. The same staking contract was written for another project, which the same thing happened. Again, I don't even know who the staking dev is. To me, it looks like the staking dev was the one behind it. Or like Matt said, people look for exploits. They found it and they took advantage of it on both of his contracts that he had deployed. So it's really hard to tell who exactly did it. But I think Power to the People launched at 57K. They're at about 51K market cap right now. So again, it was by no means a rug pull. They're very much in it. I was just talking to them today. They're still doing everything in their power to get it up and to continue on, start their grant program and all that good stuff. So Power to the People is very much not dead. They're going to continue on. But with that being said, just remember everything that launches on our decks, on our launch pad, we can never guarantee safety as much as we want to, and we do our best to try to. This stuff will happen, no doubt. No different than other launch pad or any other decks. There will be bad actors that come in, that rug pull, and different things like that. But so just keep that in mind when you're researching what project you want to get involved in and things like that.
Absolutely. So now we're going to start taking some questions. Build Drift Break says, have you determined the total number of tokens a team is going to bridge over?
Yep, since we're basically doing just a fair launch, I think we're going to end up doing 5 million tokens with $5,000, which will give us similar start market cap to the BSC side. We were going to do 10 and 10, but the 5 and 5 makes it a little bit less pressure on us because, again, we do need our tokens for, like an MEXC listing. If we decide to bridge to another chain, we need more tokens for that. So we're going to do 5 million tokens. Paired with 5,000. So slightly below what we did the BSC. So the BSC was 9 and 9. So 9 million tokens with 9K. We're going to be slightly lower, but no pre-sale or anything like that attached to it. It's going to start off at that, and it is going to run, in my opinion. So yeah, as of right now, and I highly doubt it changes, it's 5 million tokens paired with $5,000.
SPQR105 says, will there be an increased sell tax till CoinMarketCap CoinGecko listing like we did with the BSC?
So we don't have the exact number yet, but that was a big topic of discussion. As many people know, if you operate on ETH, typically ETH doesn't do high percent tokens. A lot of people get turned off to it. Now we are going to stick with our 5 and 5, which is basically pretty low, but I do believe that we are going to start at 10% sell, not buy, just like we did BSC. It does appear we're going to do that. We are expecting, even though we got CMC and CoinGecko fast on BSC, we're actually expecting to get it even faster on this side. So, once we start on the first pushing and promoting, Mike's going to get to work getting those listings going, and hopefully everything goes good. Hopefully get it day one. Again, not promising that, but that would be the ultimate goal. And as everyone can see, especially people that have been a part of Crypto on Calls the last year or two, that when Mike is on a CMC and CoinGecko listing, he gets it done pretty quick. I mean, he's gotten projects listed that I didn't think there was a chance in hell that he would get that project listed. So his contact's good. He's a reliable guy, and no doubt it'll be here fast. And there will be a token tax. I think we're talking about, because it's ETH, we want to kind of get it down. So let's say we don't get CMC right away. I think we're going to do maybe something like start off at 10%. in 3 days or 4 days, if we haven't gotten CMC, drop it to maybe like 9% or 8%. So we might kind of get on a downward kind of scale until we hit CMC. But again, we're working on those exact details. Also, it wouldn't hurt, throw in your opinion on what you think we should do for the community, because obviously us and the community, we're all the ones buying it. So everyone's opinion does matter on what they think we should do and what they and what you guys want to see.
Daddy Bybee says, "What do we have to wait 3 weeks for ETH launch? Can we just launch now and get all the FUD out the way?" Before we answer that, I'll be right back. I just gotta take care of something. But yeah, you want to answer that? And yeah, right back.
Yep. So the reason why we're waiting is because we have to get that bridge built. So obviously we have to have the bridge built and we have to have the UI ready to go so that the second we're ready to deploy the bridge to be able to get over, let people get from BSC to ETH, that they can go ahead and get that done. So if we launch now, bridge won't be live, which will cause a lot of problems. So it's mainly the bridge and the UI for the bridge, which is the holdup. So yeah, that's the reason why we're waiting. Now, also why we're waiting for Joe, we are planning on doing it May 21st, so right at 3 weeks. So typically I don't like giving dates because again, we all know how DeFi works. Things happen, people get behind on stuff, but I'm confident given that date that the 21st will be met. We talked to Mark yesterday. So as of right now, the 21st is the day. And like I said, guys, on the 1st, me and Joe are just going to go on a Twitter rampage promoting it everywhere. Everyone in this room, if you can hop on board and push, even if you don't want to buy ETH, it's completely fine, but we need to push it everywhere because, again, the ETH rising will no doubt rise the BSC, even if we have to do a 6 or 7 figure buy ourselves out of the market in a while, which is probably going to happen no matter what. Assuming we do the estimated volume that we think we're going to do, that should lead to a no doubt at least 6-figure buy on the BSC side. So yeah, excited for that. But that answers that. Let's see what else we got. Usually Joe's here in the background picking out the questions. Are there plans to add the centralized exchange tokens for some of the revenue similar to how we buy and burn? My concern is, like you mentioned, the total number of tokens available for more centralized exchanges will be limited. So yes. So whenever we do a buyback and we don't burn, those tokens are set aside and locked up in the multi-sig for revenue for the staking and for centralized exchanges. So 100%. That's why we don't burn every token that we have, because we have such a small supply. We're going to need tokens for the blockchain. So when we do a buyback, the tokens we don't burn, they're set aside for staking and centralized exchanges. That's their only purpose, are those two things. Yes, launch it. Dude, I wish we can go tomorrow, but remember, have to be a little patient. There was a little bit of FUD. Hopefully we're past it, but we really need that bridge and we also need a little bit more time to market it. Like what we did with BSC, it was just me. I started off with Codename Moon and pushing it. Eventually we launched, everyone got behind it, but imagine doing it, throwing in Joe. About 5 days prior, we're going to throw in all of the big YouTubers, all of our AMA connections that we already have partnerships with. We're going to have some of the biggest names promoting it with $0 out of pocket. So it's going to be, it should be absolutely wild. All right, so we have a pledge, not a question. Can you please start the sale on the east side with a cap for the first couple of days at least to prevent small amounts of money? So that would, again, would have to be something that we talk to the team about and see exactly what they want to do. At the end of the day, though, we want as much volume as possible. Even if that does mean some are going to buy, some are going to sell, because again, getting that 10% of marketing money is going to be something that we take. And again, just do the math, $10 million in volume. That's potentially $1 million that we're going to have to do buys on the BSC side, buy on the east side. So we kind of necessarily don't want to cap, but obviously we can have a discussion as a community to see. But I think capping will kind of be a bad thing because that might limit the amount of volume that we actually do. So yeah, guys, you have any questions, keep them rolling in. I'm going to go through and make sure I didn't miss anything. ETH launch is massive from good friend Tom Oliver. which it really is. For those that aren't paying attention or don't realize that this Uniswap listing will get us tons more exposure than Bitmart, than 2Bit, than anything we've done so far. And the beauty of it is we don't have to pay some outlandish price to get listed like you do on centralized exchanges. Let's see. Yeah, so Paul, I don't disagree with that. There are only 5 million tokens over there. Capping it would be foolish. Again, if we do put a cap, we're going to limit ourselves because again, we're scared of people pumping, dumping, different things like that. But at the end of the day, we just want as much volume as possible because we're going to be able to take that volume and parlay it into strengthening the LPs and different things like that. Yes. So this will be released very soon. So like I said, it's completely done. We just got a couple finishing touches. We're just waiting for Mark to get online. He's communicating with the UI dev to go ahead and get this built. Actually, it looks really cool. Really cool design they have on the UI. But this is coming very soon. And I mean, you could technically create a contract and launch on the DEX if you wanted to. Let's see what else Paul has to say. The only thing that is essential is that the bridge is live almost straight after launch, as the price will be the price will be immediately equalized. I have no doubt about that. How we shot from what 100,000 to 2 million in seconds. I mean, I think it's going to be even crazier than that on ETH. Again, I hate saying that because it kind of sounds like I'm making predictions, and as a founder, I don't like doing that. But yeah, if you know how ETH works, would not be shocked about that at all. Let's see what happens to the actual 5 million tokens that are bridged over to ETH. Are they still BSC? So basically, it's just a wrap version. So they're going to get taken. I guess Mark is the better person to explain this with dev talk, but they basically get set aside and then ETH tokens are minted one for one. So the tokens are still there. They're just the tokens that are going to be on ETH are going to be 5 million tokens that represent, I guess you can say, the tokens on BSC. We can also have a voice chat with Mark to fully explain it if everyone needs to. So let's see. Yes, so they are minted one for one. All right, looks like I'm caught up. But yeah, guys, keep the questions coming. Joe said he'll be back in 1 second. And like I said, guys, we're gonna start that push on Twitter, and the more people that get involved, the better. Because remember, guys, we did crazy things with literally just myself. I'm gonna do Twitter videos, different things like that. Probably concentrate more on Twitter than YouTube in the beginning. Because when I do a Twitter video, it'll get an even further reach than what I'll get on YouTube. So I'll probably concentrate on Twitter in the beginning, then usually switch to YouTube once we get launched. So does that mean that the total supply will increase? No. So the total supply will never increase. So those 5 million tokens, they're basically frozen on the BSC side. So no one can change or use those tokens on the BSC side. It's basically, again, Mark would word it better. They're frozen on the BSC side, and the wrap version on the ETH side is minted. But they're all the same tokens. There's not an extra 5 million tokens. Those tokens simply represent the tokens on the BSC side. So when those tokens get sent back over to BSC, they basically unfreeze and are put back in circulation, but there's not new tokens minted. They're one and the same. So hopefully, let me know if that answers it for you. Yep, awesome. It's a contract thing. So when someone bridges over, the only way to access them is through the contract. Yep, or through the bridge. Yep. So again, it's not new tokens. They're just going to be minted one for one. I shouldn't even use the word minted because that kind of makes it sound like it is new tokens. They're going to be represented or wrapped versions that represent the BSC side. So the way Bitmart and 2Bit work is they're actually paired with USDT. So if you would get on Bitmart, you don't use BNB or ETH or anything to buy it. You're actually going to use USDT. So that's not even paired with either one. All right, with 5 million supply, the price will at least 5x or our all-time high in the first few hours. Would definitely agree with that. Again, I really like when you guys say that stuff because I'm uncomfortable saying that kind of stuff. But I will agree with it that something similar, something like that will definitely happen. Another thing too is we also need to get going on Reddit. We need to get behind Daddy Bybee and really get Reddit pushed. You might be able to correct me if I'm wrong, Daddy Bybee, but can we upload videos to Reddit? Like if I send you my video, can you upload it to Reddit or can you just post the link? I'm not sure exactly how it works. How much you throwing in, Tommy, on the ETH launch? Yeah, Daddy Bybee is the man. He is the sole reason why we have a big presence on Reddit. He does an awesome job. Again, the team's only so big. There's only so many things we can do. So having everyone help. Shout out to Taz. He's been handling our Twitter, which is awesome. Again, a million things going on. It's hard to keep up with everything going. So anytime we can get help, I know other people have reached out to help, which we will get them involved for sure because again we need all the help we can get, especially as we grow. There's only so much that we can do. Even if I'm dedicating full time 8 hours a day to this, it's still really hard to catch up with. Like people don't realize the amount of time and energy it takes to keep up with something on this scale. Also, another thing too I want to address, I'm getting a lot of DMs from people, I guess, about the price. Again, guys, there's nothing we can do to control the price. I mean, we've launched utility after utility. At the end of the day, though, people want to see price movement. That's what people want to get involved. We can release the DEX, we can release the launch pad, we can release pretty much everything. The blockchain might be the only thing that releases that has crazy hype around it, but yeah, we can release everything we want. And again, if the price chart isn't moving, people don't get excited, which is the reason why we want the exposure of Uniswap. It's no doubt going to get everything moving. Exactly. If you want the price to move up, buy more, tell your friends, have them buy, etc. Volume is what will drive the price. Because again, guys, we're doing everything we can. We're moving as fast as we can to get all the utility built, to have the whole ecosystem up and running. But again, it takes time. Considering it hasn't even been 3 months yet, the amount that we've already built and put out is pretty impressive in my opinion. Of course, I'm biased because I'm one of the ones helping. But yeah, guys, the best way is community. So many people that I know are still holders kind of went dark since the price has been on a downward trend. But again, that's what I guess we need. We need all those people back. So hopefully the Uniswap listing and getting hyped and moving up to that launch will actually get people excited again. And remember, buying on the BSC side right now, even though it's starting at a higher market cap, will probably be a better entry point than buying on ETH. Because again, within minutes, we saw it on the BSC side. It's going to be even crazier on the ETH side. That price is going to shoot up. All right, got an answer to my question. We can upload videos directly. I emphasize everyone can post videos and pictures. Please, please have as many people make posts, and it will help increase volume and bring in new investors. Yep. So if we work as a team, remember, it was basically just me and a handful of people when we did Codename Moon, and look what we were able to accomplish. Imagine if we get this whole army behind us, what we can do at our ETH launch, especially with all the big names that cover us. They will no doubt turn up. And again, they're invested. I already talked to them. We're going to get everything going, and it's going to be an absolute wild ride. I'm hoping at least 10 to 50x better than what even the BSC side was. All right. Any more questions? We're going to kind of See, if not, we're going to start to wrap it up here soon. I think I caught everyone's question.
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Oh, nope, all good. I was just going through the questions. I'm officially, I think, caught up on all of the questions.
It's I'll be honest, it's been crazy this whole journey so far with everything, and it feels like we've been on a massive journey and it's just begun. Like with ETH coming out, the blockchain getting ready, more projects every single day, the green market on the horizon. There's just so much about to happen. So I'm really really excited about the future, not only of this project but of DeFi in general. But what we're looking to do within this project and this team, I'm telling everybody right now, we're not looking just to to 2x and call it a day. We're looking to do a lot more in DeFi. And yeah, people have sold, people have walked away, and that's fair. That's fine. They could do whatever they want. It's their money. We're not gonna tell them to buy or sell. But what we will say is, for those that sell, with ETH coming out, like it blows my mind. Like, hey, this will come out and this will probably help you on BSC. And for people to turn around and go, yeah, nah, I just want to take what little bit of money I have and walk away. Okay, I mean, hey, listen, it's your choice, but ETH will boost BSC. This is something that's not a maybe or kinda. It's a guaranteed what's going to happen the way it's designed. It will boost BSC. So it's something we're definitely looking forward to as a team, and we're definitely have the minds of the current holders why we're doing all these things as well.
Yeah, for sure. And like Joe, I think you were here when I initially started talking about it, but I was telling everyone how on the first we're gonna go crazy
Yeah,
with everything. I mean, we need to spread this everywhere. This is our opportunity to get to the masses because when we launch on ETH, we're gonna have that really green chart. We're gonna have that explosion in volume. That's what gets people's attention. So this is our opportunity. We built a really good base on the BSC side. This is our opportunity to knock it out of the park and potentially go over to other EVM chains and different things like that. Of course, we have Mark's product coming out that you're going to be able to buy on any chain. So one day, all LPs might be consolidated to one huge LP. Again, any movement of LP will probably be community voted. But yeah, as time goes on, we're just going to keep building and building. And when we're in a full blown bull market, we get all those people back. There's just no telling where Operation Phoenix is going to be.
absolutely. And for those right now, they're just sitting there and going, I don't want to buy an ETH. That's fair enough. But for those that are going to buy an ETH, it's going to be a race, and it's going to be you're going to have to really, really, really cook it in this one because it's going to be fair as fair. And for those that get in early, like Sean said early on in this live stream, they are going to get the biggest benefit. So a lot of people, if I had to imagine, are going to be fighting early on. But for those that buy even in the middle of the day after the ETH is initially launched, there's still always opportunity because once again, these charts are going to be doing really good. I mean, I think when we launched on BNB, it was not just in one day; it was pumping and it went down. It was really pumping for a while, and we think that this with ETH, it might even last a little bit longer. The way ETH taxation, as well as our current project taxation, is designed, so it's going to be a crazy ride. Not just like day one, or not just the first couple of minutes of launch, but we're thinking at least first couple of days, like we saw on BSC.
Yeah, I think it was 10 or 11 days in we hit that all-time high. I do think it will be prolonged, but we're going to mix that with trending. We're going to mix that with more than likely if the volume's there, which I'm pretty confident it will be. We're going to mix that with some more centralized exchange listings with some even bigger AMAs. And again, guys, if we're doing that $1 million in volume, you will likely see at minimum 6 figures worth of buys on the BSC side. Because again, we have to equal everything out the best we can. Everything's going to kind of be played by ear. Where's the ETH market cap? Where's the BSC market cap? How much funds we have. But if we're charging a 10% tax on a 5% buy tax and we do, $10 million in volume, just do the math on the amount of money that's going to be coming back. And then once you start pumping that money in, those tokens obviously are going to be not getting sold. So we're going to be holding that floor, which just usually leads to more money pumping in. Everyone follows the green chart. Everyone follows all the volume. And again, now we're going to have it on two sides. Every time we do a huge buyback on BSC. That's going to create 4% more marketing money, which also can be used for more marketing money and more buys and just different things like that. And once that volume gets rolling in on ETH, it's just going to be a snowball effect of us being able to hopefully just keep reaching that higher and higher level as we continue to go up.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be something I think a lot of people are going to be really like looking into throughout. This time I'm going to try to tell. I got in a lot of trouble with a lot of people because they were hitting me up and saying, "Hey, man, you didn't let me know about the BSC." And these are ETH guys, by the way. A lot of people that like me, well, a lot of people that were yelling at me were originally ETH guys. So I'm definitely going to make a note to tell my ETH friends about this, and there's a lot of them. So I wouldn't be surprised if this project starts and shotguns. I mean, realistically, shotguns. I had a buddy that made a great point. BSC takes the stairs, ETH takes the elevator. And when it comes down to a project launching, you're going to see an elevator. If I had to guess, once again, no guarantees, not financial advice, but the way it's designed, the way we're having this fan launch, I think you're going to see an elevator shotgun up. And the only question is, if you are getting involved via ETH, are you a part of that? And once again, for those on BSC, we have not forgot about you. This is everything on ETH is your party as well, and the BSC chart will be rewarded by this as well. So don't think you're out in the open. Once again, I want to reiterate that because Sean, you and I both know there's gonna be someone going on Telegram or on Twitter going, "You're gonna forget about the BSC." Send them this live stream. Tell them to watch it. That's all we got.
Yep.
Like all we can do for those people.
Yep. Mark my words. When Joe and I start this push, that's going to be the first comment that we
Yep.
get is that they're forgetting about BSC. They're just trying to do another pump and dump, even though this was by no means a pump and dump. We had a very nice rise up and a very steady rise down, which is very normal for any crypto project. Any crypto project is going to go up and it is going to come back down. And then you continue to build and hopefully work our way back up. But that's going to no doubt be the first thing that everyone says is that we're just doing this for a cash grab or something like that. And couldn't be the furthest thing from the truth.
Right. So, Mike says, not funny, but wondering if someone from the team would be assisting PTTP with their project to ensure its success is a reflection of the DEX. I know they had an issue with staking. We mentioned this earlier. Our team and their team are talking. We're definitely we want to help as much as possible. That's been our sentiment nonstop, and it's true. Behind the scenes, a lot of our guys have been saying, "Hey, if you need help with this, you need advice, we're here for you. Like, what you need, we're here for you." But they didn't launch. Our people, Sean, right? Like we were like, "What do you need that we can do for you guys? We got you." If you have something that you're looking to do, we probably can do it better. If you want to just let us know what it is, we can help you with that. We're definitely still looking to help them. Of course we are. We like the PTTP
Yep.
team. We think they're great people.
Yep. No. I've been in touch with him nonstop. Matt actually tried to circumvent and try to help with what was going on. Unfortunately, there was nothing. There was nothing he could do because they kind of tipped it off that they thought something was wrong. So we did try our best to help. Again, Matt identified the project or the problem. Now, at the end of the day, it wasn't a huge exploit. Like I said, it was about 4.5K in loss. Could have been way worse. And even stuff like the team, they locked all their tokens up or all the funds up successfully. I mean, they could have easily, they had a small window where they could have ran off with all the LP had they wanted to. They did the right thing. They locked it up on pink sale for both LPs. Like I said, the contract that was built by the staking dev, he had multiple contracts that got exploited. So yeah, we have no reason to believe that it was the devs from PTT behind it. So we're definitely going to keep supporting them. And I think, like I said, they're only about 7,000 below their initial launch market cap. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure they launched at 57K. So they're right there. So it wasn't anything devastating. Like I said, they told me this morning they're not running, they're not going anywhere. They're going to keep building. They want to stick to their original plan. So hopefully we'll have that up and running. Hopefully a week from now we'll surpass the launch price to kind of get past that and let them start building.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. If I wasn't saving up for the ETH launch, I probably would have bought some PTTP. Oh man, it's hard to say that one. I would have probably bought some more PTTP because of how much I personally believe in the team, as well as our guys on. I'm not even like I have money put to the side, but I want to put it towards the ETH launch because it is something cool to do. But like if it wasn't for that, I would have definitely gone on the PTTP, because these guys, like I said, and Sean has said, they're not running away; they're running too. They're not slowing down; they're speeding up. And this is something this is the kind of projects you want to see in DeFi. You want to see people that are looking towards going, okay, we have an issue, we stop the leak, let's get it going. For those that believe, get rewarded. For those that want, so the exploit and so along with them. Hey, listen, that's on you, not financial advice, but I think you just got burned. And they're going to keep going. They're not going to slow down. This is what we like to see in DeFi.
Yep, 100%. Yep. So we'll see how it goes. Have a feeling it's going to go well. And yeah, like I said, all talking their butts off. But again, never listen to just people talking on YouTube. I do token reviews all the time. Joe does token reviews, but that doesn't mean buy. Always just do your own research. All the info that I have behind the scenes, I have just given. That's everything that I know that's going on. That's how I feel about it. But also make sure that you go into it and look and make sure that's how you feel about it as well.
Absolutely. So, guys, if you have any more questions, let us know, guys. I mean, me, Sean's rock star. I had to run out for a second, but Sean's a rock star here today, answering everyone's questions. And if you guys have any questions, let us know. But pretty much a wrap, I think. I think we answered everyone's questions. Guys, once again, we do Phoenix Fridays every Friday, 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Make sure to join in. To answer your questions on everything ultimately today, we're not going anywhere. We are behind the scenes. We're getting everything done. And I will say, Sean, Matt, Mike, Mark, the 3 M's, we're definitely, we're definitely still looking to do more behind the scenes. Yes, we understand there's a little bit of negative sentiment. Yes, there can be FUD, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if the end result is us launching on ETH. The end result is pushing up BSC. The end result is the blockchain. The end result is more projects getting involved via Token Builder, via our DEX. We have done so much, and we're not slowing down. We still got more to go, and we're really excited about that. So once again, I'm Squiggo Joe, Steve Fight Sean, and you guys have a great day.